Mafia Material Mobcast episode number 61. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about power, force, the Mobcast recap. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell y'all, let me reiterate what we got going on. So, yeah, we're going to get into the ultimate breakdown of the Power Book 4, Season 3, Episodes 6 through 10, talking about the complete collapse of the coalition, all the shocking deaths, and what it all means for Tommy Egan's future. And trust me, the back half of this season, just like the first half, straight bloodbath, my nigga, and it changed everything. You feel me? Got a little montage right here, you know, Tommy, whole squad, Stacy, Mark, Miguel, Shanti, JP, D-Mac. If you haven't caught up, you know, just want to be all in the mix of the chaos, smash that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, man, because you don't want to miss the next power analysis. You know what I mean? So we're going to dive straight in. We're going to talk about how episode 6, man, asset forfeiture. And this shit was the calm before the storm, you know what I mean? But the cracks was deep. You know? Got everybody looking tense. Jannard over here looking scheming. We saw Tommy and Diamond's coalition start to crumble. You know what I mean? They had different visions for the territory. Jannard, ever the opportunist, saw his opening and started planting seeds of doubt within CBI, setting up all the mutiny that we saw later. And meanwhile, you know, Stacy Mark was scrambling and shit, and she finally, you know, told her husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, Bobby DeFranco, you know, a little dirty laundry was out, and her RICO case against Tommy was on life support and shit. So this shit was pushing her even closer to the boy Big Flynn, you know what I mean, who we're going to get into later. But remember Miguel Garcia? Well, this nigga over here, Roberto Ortega, sent him the Mexican passion flower, a death threat. Cartel pressure was starting to mount, you know what I mean? Shay wasn't trying to let him slide. That's the other plug, you know what I mean? Now, there was no major deaths in this one and shit, but the stage was set for disaster. You know what I mean? And I see Tommy and Maria, because now Tommy then got Miguel, like Miguel was the op. Tommy then went and got his sister pregnant, you know what I'm saying? And the whole shit. And then, bam, episode 7, Lines in the Sand, delivered the first major blow. Got Diamond and Tommy. This is right when they were about to get physical. You know what I'm saying? Tommy and Diamond's relationship, you know, partnership officially imploded with an all-out brawl. I ain't gonna lie, Diamond was beating the shit out of Tommy. Like, I think that nigga was trying to run upstairs. He held his own, but that nigga was trying to get away for a minute. You know, but yeah, their alliance was over. Jannard ass, he got played when Tommy used the little hoe stripper bitch, Jade, to seduce him and get him to start shooting up that dog food again. And that shit led to the chick Shanti Showstopper, you know, bashing the shit out of that nigga Lambo. I mean, she went Jasmine Sullivan on that shit. I bust the windows out your car. You fucked that bitch while you was sniffing dog. This shit crazy. You know, we thought Shanti was truly done with Jannard, but oh, how wrong we were about her true motive, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then we got this nigga, Vic, to appease the Albanians, the Albanian mob who Tommy gave his territory to. And they tried to do some get back shit. He let the little Irish boy put the battery in his back to go and try to take the bar back. They went in there and clipped like half a dozen Albanian niggas. I bet you Dogface was probably happy when he was watching that shit. But yeah, to appease the Albanian mob, man, he did the unthinkable, sacrificing his childhood friend, nigga Connor, framing him, as a snitch. This shit is cold-blooded. You know what I'm saying? Cold-blooded as hell. But the biggest shocker, Stacey Martin, man. Yeah, she tried to grandstand and shit. She told Tommy, like, you could take your tape and shove it up your ass. I got powerful friends and all this other shit. Then she said, like, he don't own her and we're done, we're finished and shit. Then she tried to pull her, Tommy asked her, you done? Are you finished? You know what I'm saying? And then she tried to pull the handcuffs out like she was going to arrest the nigga. That nigga up the pipe on her ass or whatever and smoked her. Her ass looked mad shot. Like, you shot a cop. You know what I mean? And that was the end. She was really finished and done then. Her and her crusade. Stacey Martin, gone. And this shit has shifted the entire game from legal pressure to an all-out street war. You know what I mean? Now, the reckoning came, in episode 8 and 9. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, this Bobby DeFranco, though. Hold up. So that's her husband, right? And the little Asian nigga right here, he worked for the Marquez cartel, the Ortega nigga that sent the passion flower shit. Yeah. So they find out, this nigga, her husband finds out that the Asian nigga crooked, but now that Shorty dead, he the acting, AUSA for Chicago. But he on the cartel's payroll and shit like that. And this nigga caught him with one of the niggas that actually worked for the cartel dude. My bad. In the restaurant and shit. You know what I mean? Now then, we get to episode 8, Build Back Better. And this is where all the personal stakes escalated beyond anything that we've seen, in the Power universe before. Tommy, Shanti, and Miguel forming a new alliance. You know what I'm saying? Jannard out here unhinged. Now, Tommy's officially out of CBI and forged the ruthless new alliance with Miguel Garcia and Shanti Showstopper Page. And they were united by common enemy, but Jannard, that nigga snapped, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga all the way snapped. After Tommy revealed Jannard's plan to try to kill D-Mac, JP, D-Mac Daddy. Yeah. D-Mac Daddy is actually in the Rainbow Mafia, or well, he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, but JP confronted Jannard, giving him a public ass whooping. And you know what's crazy, bro? When he beat the nigga up, right? He punched that nigga, he had that nigga laid out on the ground and shit like that. He said, "You fuck with the wrong faggot." I said, "Oh my God." Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd have shot that nigga.
Got to after that.
But you could have just did that and walked away, nigga. You ain't had to say no shit like that.
You fucked with the wrong faggot.
Woo! Hey, YouTube, y'all can't flag me, man. It said it on stars, nigga. I'm just repeating what the actor said. But yeah, man, that humiliation, that shit pushed that nigga over the edge. You know what I'm saying? It really did. And then the unthinkable, man. JP Gibbs, Tommy's own brother, was killed by Jannard in a fit of rage. You know what I'm saying? That nigga said, "What's wrong, Jannard? All this because I whooped your ass? You could be a man and kill me yourself, bitch." And that nigga shot his ass 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not only that though, but Jannard fucked around or whatever and killed King Kilo and one of his enforcers. Now, JP's death was a whole gut punch, you know what I mean? The Tommy and D-Mac transforming the fight from just, you know, business to pure unadulterated revenge, nigga. And low-key, Jannard really became the most, like, the season's most dangerous villain. Ain't nothing like a dope fiend with power, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit might not go well. Episode 9, War Requiem. This was the climax of all the brotherly drama. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can see the little fade out of church shootout and all that. You know, Tommy, D-Mac, Miguel, and Shanti launched a coordinated ambush on Jannard and Diamond at a church that they was held up in. Shanti had her inside man go in there with some poison bottles of water. Once it got up from Diddy's house, they were tainted. Made everybody fall asleep. During the chaotic shootout, Tommy aimed for Jannard, but in a truly shocking moment, Diamond stepped in front of the bullet to save his brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was wild. But before that had happened though, shit, D-Mac ended up killing Marshall. You know, after Jannard tried to use Marshall to backdoor the little nigga. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga Marshall upped it on D-Mac first. And he was like, "Nah, I can't kill you. I love you, bro, but I ain't fucking with you no more." But D-Mac knew that he knew where Jannard is at, and Jannard killed his pop. So it's like, yo, my nigga, that nigga killed my father. So you mean to tell me you gonna choose loyalty to this nigga over me? And so he said, "Tell me where that nigga at." And that nigga Marshall thought that, you know, D-Mac had the same, you know, soft heart for him, you know, as he had for him. D-Mac smoked that nigga. And shout out to the nigga who played Marshall, because you act your ass off, boy. You really made that sound that like niggas make, like when that shit hit them in the head and they shit themselves. I don't know why, but the way you made that, I just like, for some reason, I feel like you passed gas at the same time. You made me a believer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the main death though, Diamond Sampson, killed by Tommy's own bullet, dying to protect his brother, who had betrayed him on countless occasions, not just once, but numerous ways. It was really like a tragic but honorable end. Like, you know what I mean? Because you just died for a bitch ass nigga. You know? CBI leaderless, Jannard isolated. You know, like I said, D-Mac, you know, also had his moment, killing Marshall after an argument. A officially solidifying his descent into the light. You know, Jannar ended up escaping, of course. You know, setting up for the final showdown. You know, but man, then finally, the beginning of the end. You and your friend. Oh man, yeah, man. The series finale of Power Book 4 Force. Yeah, you heard that right. The series finale, nigga. It's over. It's over now. Yeah, so Jannar tried to rally the remaining CBI members, but Diamond Death had completely demoralized them niggas. It was over with. You know what I'm saying? Tommy and Miguel got intel on Jannar's location and ambushed them niggas. Miguel took a bullet to the leg, but you know, he survived. You know, but Tommy crew decimated the opposition, you know, to the point where nigga, they was in there, Jannar trying to say, like, yo, bro, we might have lost the battle, but we still gonna win the war. All this shit or whatever. He said, we just gotta keep our motherfucking eyes on the prize. He said, nigga, we is. The prize is Tommy. That nigga said, what? Oh, that nigga was so hurt. I bet he wanted to shoot up right then and there. You know what I mean? And then they end up rolling over the Miguel spot and saying how they wanted to get down with Tommy and shit. So now this nigga basically got the whole Chicago on lock. Tommy, the new Al Capone of the Al Capone of the power verse, nigga.
Damn.
But then, oh yeah, motherfucking Tommy killed Ortega. And the way Chase set that shit up, he said, yeah, it's somebody who's been causing nothing but problems ever since they got to Chicago. And Tommy started thinking like, oh shit, it's me? Because Shay pointed the gun at that nigga and then he like tipped it over so that he could grab it. And he said, it's your kill. Tommy smoked that nigga because he's the one that sent the hitter to try to kill the pregnant, you know, girlfriend and shit. That nigga damn sure thought he was cooked. But yeah. Then the moment that sent shockwaves through the whole goddamn Power universe, nigga. Tariq St. Patrick arrived from New York City, man, with backup. Nigga had his own squad and everything. Saved Tommy and shit when he was cornered, helping secure the W. The true power crossover moment. You know what I mean? And now, we're gonna talk about, you know, who survived. The carnage and shit, you know what I mean? What's next?
Shit.
You know what I mean? Who survived? So, first, we got to talk about Jannar Sampson. Defeated, but still alive. His crew abandoned him, like I said. He eventually teamed up with, you know, the other outcasts. You know what I mean? This nigga right here, Big Glenn, who also survived. He tried to lead the game, become some nigga named Jason Butler, but that shit didn't work. So now he joining forces with Jannar. So these two are now the new revenge-seeking duo. Feel me? Shanti Showstopper. You know, she survived and rose to a high-ranking position in Tommy's new organization. And she played the long game and won. You know what I mean? Because man, like, man, she was on so many sides. I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen with Shorty. You know, like, yeah, she was on some other shit. Got Miguel Garcia's sister Maria, Tommy's soon-to-be baby mama. She survived, left town, went to Mexico to protect herself and her child, leaving Tommy a letter saying, you know, I'm gonna take myself off the map so that, you know, you can focus on winning the war. Yeah, I didn't know what she signed up for. But the biggest setup, Tariq proposed that Tommy return to New York to move product with him. And the series ended with Tommy considering the offer, you know, in the Legacy series. You know what I'm saying? Insane ass ride, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Season 3, you know, this shit gave us revenge, shocking deaths, game-changing crossovers that will alter the Power universe forever. And I want to know, man, what were your favorite moments? Who are you most excited to see return? You know, I'm definitely eager to see, because now that Tariq and Tommy gonna be back in the mix, Tommy ain't trying to kill Tasha no more. That's why she was in a little witness protection shit, I think. So now she gonna be out in the mix, and you know she can't keep her hands clean for nothing. I'm wondering how things are gonna work when her and Shanti Showstopper cross paths. You know, Tasha could smell a sneaky bitch from a mile away, because she's a sneaky bitch from a mile away. But let me know in the comments below, man. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our deep dives into what's next for Tommy and the Powerverse. You know, and until next time, man, you know, remember that in the world of power, can't trust nobody. And every time I see niggas have a conversation on that shit, I'm waiting for a bullet to come out of nowhere. I ain't even gonna hold you. But yeah, that's our spill. Power, Book 4, Force, the Mobcast recap. Mafia Material Mobcast, episode number 61.